well, this is right. This is cheating, okay? You need to do this first, then you can reverse the order of these things to E or D from 6 by COM, okay? So that was a very common kind of mistake or cheat. Does everybody understand that? Any questions about this problem? Okay, so the first thing to deduce was that basically all you needed to do is get a D, and you're going to add the or E, and you go from there. Okay, that was 3. Here comes 4. 4 is not Z or not X, and 1 is not A or not B. 2 is not A, then not Z. 3 is B, then X. Okay. So the first thing I'll do is I'll look for the not Z or not X in the premises, and I don't see it. And I don't see its opposite in an antecedent, okay? So I'm going to write a mental note that this is the same thing as, I'm going to do De Morgan's on it. I'm going to push the negation through, so Z becomes not Z, or becomes and, not X becomes X, and that was by De Morgan's. So if I can find this, I can use De Morgan's to get back to that, okay? And this looks doable because there's an X, so I just need to go find a B, and there's a not Z, so I just need to go find a not A, okay? The only thing I have to work with is this line 1, and it has a negated disjunction. Well, anytime I see a negated disjunction or a negated conjunction, I'm thinking, what do I get if I use De Morgan's, right? So I'm just going to do that. So I push the negation through. So A becomes not A, or becomes and, not B becomes B. That's 1 by De Morgan's. Now, is that going to help us? Well, this is an and, so that means I can get the not A by itself, and I can also get the the B by itself pretty easily. If I have the not A, I can get my not Z, which I need. If I have the B, I can get my X. So this is going to work out. Okay. So first things first, let me get the not A from 4. This is a conjunction. So I can say not A from 4 by simplification. Now, by the way, let me say this again. People are overgeneralizing rules. Simplification is only for ands. So people might say something like this, X or Y, X by simplification. No, that does not follow. Or X then Y, and they'll say X by simplification. No, that doesn't follow. Simplification is only for ands. Does everybody understand that? Okay? Okay. So, I got my not A, and I'm going to use it to get not Z. So I get not Z from 2 and 5 by modus ponens. Okay? There's my not Z. I got this. Now I need to get an X. I can get an X if I have a B. There's my B. And this is where people cheat. They try to simplify straight to the B, but the B needs to be on the left-hand side of the conjunction. You can only simplify to the left, so I have to do this one little weighting move, as it were, and I get B and not A from 4 by COM. Now I can simplify to the B. B from 7, simplification. What was I going to do with that B? I was going to use it to get the X. B then X, I have a B, so I get an X. X from 3 and 8 modus ponens. Now I have these two parts. Let me just put them together. I'm looking at 6 and 9. That gets me not Z and X, and that's 6 and 9 conjunction when I'm putting them together, conjunction, okay? And now, I said this is the same thing as that by De Morgan, so let me just do De Morgan's backwards. So I'm pulling a negation out, so I get not Z changes its sign to Z, or and becomes or, and X becomes not X. That's from 10 by De Morgan's, and I'm done. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. So that takes us to 5, the last one. Oh, and let me say one thing before I do 5. I introduced you to conditional proofs, and I don't even think I did an example of an indirect proof in here, okay? Lots of people, for whatever reason, tried to do conditional proofs. Only one person did it properly, okay? Just wipe conditional proofs out of your mind. They are not necessary to do any of the test questions. The test questions will be designed for you to do without using it. Does everybody understand that? So since people really haven't wrapped their heads around how to do it properly, just forget it, okay? Because chances are you'll mess yourself up, okay? Okay, number 5. We have not B and F. We have B then G and F then N, and not G and N. Okay. So we need to get to not B and F, and I don't see it anywhere in the premises. I don't see its opposite in the antecedent. But since this is a negated conjunction, I'm going to make a mental note of what it is by De Morgan's. And if I push the negation through, B becomes not B, and becomes or, and F becomes not F. So that's what I can go for, okay? And one thing I noted is when you're trying to prove a disjunction and you don't see it anywhere, if you see each one of those disjuncts as a consequent in a conditional, well, if chances are you can get these 3 pieces and do a constructive dilemma, and that gets you that, okay? Now, we actually don't see a blank then not B, but I want you to look at just this, B then G. We have a rule transposition that lets us change places. So it would become not G, then not B. So we have one of those. And also, look, this by itself, if we did a transposition on it, we get a not N, then not F. So we're going to get the pieces that we need to do a constructive dilemma. Everybody understand that? So that's what I'm going for. So first things first, I need to get this piece. So I'm going to say B, then G from 1 by simplification. Now this is a conditional, so I'm going to swap the things. And as I do, they change their signs. So G becomes not G, and B becomes not B, and that's from 3 by transposition, okay? Now I need to get this part. Now here's a common mistake. People are simplifying straight to that right here. No, it has to be on the left-hand side of a conjunction. So the first things first, we need to flip these around. So I get F, then N, and B, then G from 1 by com, okay? Lots of people skip that step. Now I can simplify to this, F, then N from 5 by simplification. Now I can do the transposition. I get not N, then not F from 6 by transposition. Okay. So I have a blank, then not B, and I have a blank, then not F. I have these two parts, so what I need is a disjunction, not G or not N. I don't have that sitting around anywhere, but there it is, in line 2, in disguise. If I do a De Morgan's on 2, I'm going to get exactly what I need. So let's push this negation through, and that gets me not G or not N from 2 by De Morgan's. So this is exactly the piece I needed. So now I look at 4, I look at 7, I look at 8, and I can do the constructive dilemma to get not B or not F 4, 7, 8, 4, 7, 8, CD, constructive dilemma. Okay. And then we said we know that this is the same thing as that by De Morgan's. And so we'll just do that, De Morgan's backwards. Pull out the negation, so not B becomes B, or becomes and not F becomes F from 9 by De Morgan's going backwards, as it were, and I'm done. Okay. Okay. One other thing to say, and that is this. Some people were using AI to try to complete the quiz, okay? I haven't called anyone out on it, but your name has been noted if you were using AI, okay? And if you use AI in the test, that's forbidden. Does everybody understand that? So you can use the book, you can't use another person, and you can't use AI.